What if a pair of shoes could cost you a championship, or even $200 million? In the NBA, sneakers are more than just footwear. They're statements, symbols, and sometimes weapons. But when the league steps in and says no, it's not just a fashion foul, it's a high-stakes battle. From designs inspired by presidents and streaming services to shoes that gave players literal superpowers, the NBA has had a long, complicated history with banning shoes. And at the center of it all, some of the biggest names in basketball, Stephen Curry, LeBron James, Kanye West, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving, have all been caught in the crossfire. So why were these sneakers so controversial? And what happens when a simple shoe becomes a statement the NBA can't ignore? Let's start with one of the most surprising offenders, Stephen Curry. Back in 2018, the Golden State Warriors wanted to pay tribute to Chinese New Year with special themed jerseys. Steph Curry, fully embracing the celebration, took it a step further by creating an exclusive colorway of the Curry 4s, designed to match the Chinese-inspired uniforms. But when Curry wore them in a game, it set off a firestorm, because the NBA had a strict policy. Shoes had to match team colors and could only feature the brand's logos. Curry's shoes violated both. That alone might have been swept under the rug. But just days later, Curry did it again. This time, it was with a shoe collaboration involving none other than former President Barack Obama. The colorway featured unique symbols and branding not tied to Under Armour, and certainly not approved by the NBA. So even though Steph dropped 25 points that night, the league responded with a harsh verdict: banned. Ironically, just months later, the NBA removed its color restriction rule. Had Curry waited, his controversial kicks might have passed unnoticed, but his sneakers became a cautionary tale, and they weren't even the most expensive pair ever banned. That title might belong to James Harden, whose shoe misstep nearly cost him $200 million. In 2015, Harden inked a massive 13-year deal with Adidas. To celebrate, he and then-girlfriend Khloe Kardashian stepped out for a casual night, only to be swarmed by paparazzi. The scandal? Harden was caught on camera, wearing Air Jordans. For Adidas, this wasn't just bad press. It was brand betrayal. The company's president called Harden directly, making it crystal clear: wear Adidas 24/7, on court, off court, even at home, or face the legal and financial consequences. That meant no more Nikes, no Jordans, not even his slippers. Every step Harden took was now a $200 million decision. But sometimes the fight over shoes isn't just about brands. Sometimes it's personal. When LeBron James entered the NBA, he was hailed as the future of the league, but not everyone welcomed the hype. Paul Pierce saw himself as the king of the Eastern Conference, and the attention around a teenage LeBron rubbed him the wrong way. Their rivalry brewed quietly for years, but when Pierce landed on the Washington Wizards, it boiled over. One day, Pierce noticed a teammate wearing LeBron's. That was the last straw. Pierce banned his own teammates from wearing LeBron's shoes around him. In his house, he said, LeBron's were forbidden. The irony? Players kept wearing them anyway, and LeBron later admitted if he sees someone wearing his shoes in a game, it only fuels him to play even harder. "I'm gonna bust your ass," he said, straight up. But Pierce wasn't the only player who tried to enforce a personal shoe code. Zach LaVine started something even bigger, a full-on sneaker revolution. After signing with Adidas, LaVine planned to debut a fresh new design during All-Star Weekend. But when Kanye West, yes, that Kanye, revealed he'd been working with Adidas for 3 years on a Yeezy basketball shoe, everything changed. The design was wild, flashy, eye-catching, and to NBA officials, way too distracting. The league immediately banned the Yeezy basketball shoes from official games. But Zach LaVine didn't back down. During the 2020 All-Star Weekend, while everyone else played it safe, LaVine laced up the banned Yeezys for the three-point contest, becoming the first NBA player ever to wear them in a live NBA event. It wasn't just a bold move, it was a message, and others followed. Brandon Ingram, playing in his first All-Star game, wore Yeezys on the court with Kanye himself sitting courtside. Kanye later signed Ingram's pair right there during the game, a historic moment. Soon after, Andre Iguodala became the first to wear Yeezys in an actual regular season game, even switching it up with alternate colors. The NBA, facing growing pressure and realizing it couldn't stop the wave, lifted the ban. For the first time ever, a sneaker got unbanned because players fought back. But not all battles end in victory. Karl-Anthony Towns found himself in a very strange situation. His shoes weren't banned for breaking color rules or branding policy. They were banned because they promoted Netflix. Towns was a self-declared binge watcher of Stranger Things, and after staying up all night watching the show, he decided to pay tribute in the most Towns way possible. He teamed up with a designer to create custom Stranger Things Nike Hyperdunks, complete with show references and logos. The design was flawless, but the NBA wasn't impressed. The direct reference to Netflix, a commercial media platform, violated league uniform regulations. The shoes were banned immediately. Towns had found a way to combine his two obsessions, basketball and Netflix, but the league wasn't having it. Still, nothing tops the story of shoes that were banned for giving players superpowers. Enter the APL Concept Ones, a sneaker, unlike anything else on the market. Designed with built-in load and launch springs, these shoes could actually increase a player's vertical jump by 3 inches. This wasn't just about style, it was science. And the NBA wanted no part of it. The league banned the Concept Ones immediately, citing unfair competitive advantage. But APL didn't retreat. They embraced the controversy and began creating more shoes built for performance extremes. Soon, they released the APL Superfuture and the APL Concept X, both banned as well. In a weird twist, being banned became APL's entire marketing strategy, and honestly, it worked. But perhaps the most confusing ban of all involved Kyrie Irving. Kyrie's first signature shoe with Nike, the Kyrie one, was filled with personal touches. Jagged patterns representing the Sydney Opera House, tributes to his late mother, his jersey number, and even design cues inspired by LeBron's signature shoes. The result? A shoe that told a story, his story. Yet, despite all that thought and meaning, the NBA flagged elements of the design and placed temporary restrictions on its use. The reasoning was unclear, likely due to technical issues around team uniform compliance. But the message was bizarre. Even heartfelt, deeply personal shoes aren't always safe from the NBA's rulebook. In a league that thrives on flair, fashion, and individuality, shoes have become more than just gear. They're political statements, personal tributes, and performance tools. And sometimes, they're too much for the NBA to handle. So the next time a player steps onto the hardwood, remember, every sneaker has a story. Some cost millions, some start revolutions, and others, they get banned.